Periodically, I like to tell you about cases that we recently resolved. The case I want to talk to you about today was pretty troubling given the injuries involved. My clients were the children of a woman who lived in a nursing home in the Boot Heel area of Missouri. The resident was unable to walk without the assistance of nursing home employees, and in fact, her care plan clearly stated that she required 2 employees to assist her with going to the restroom or transferring her to a chair. One of the universal truths in nursing home care is that when a resident falls, the nursing home staff is required to check the patient for injuries and document as much as they can about the fall. If a fall is witnessed by an employee, that employee is to document exactly what she saw. If the fall is not witnessed, employees are to check for injuries and document how and when they found the resident. If a resident is injured, staff members are to assess the resident, call the physician, call the family, and document as much about the injuries as they know. Keep that universal truth in mind as you hear what happened to the resident in this case, knowing that there was absolutely no indication in the resident's chart that she had suffered a fall or even any injury. This story starts early in the morning with the resident lying in bed. When asked by a certified nursing assistant, called a CNA, how she was feeling, the usually responsive resident had a sheet up to her chin and was acting sluggish and not talkative. The CNA went out to the hallway and asked a nurse to come check on the resident because she was acting funny. The nurse went in, saw the resident, received no response from her, so she went to call an ambulance. While the nurse was on the phone, the CNA went back into the room and pulled back the bed sheet. She then rushed back to the nurse and insisted that she return to the resident to see what she had discovered. When they fully examined this resident, they found massive bruising all over her body. So here's a woman who can't get out of bed on her own, certainly couldn't get back into bed if she had fallen, and who now has horrific bruising all over her body. Now, they would later discover that she also had a broken arm. And guess what? No one at the nursing home knew anything about what happened. At least that was the story. Certainly no one admitted to knowing what had happened. And unfortunately, this lady died a short time later as a direct result of her injuries. This poor family was faced with a situation where their mother had suffered terrible injuries, horrible pain, and ultimately death. And no one at the nursing home would give them any answers. So they came to me. They hired me to investigate what had happened to their mother and to file a wrongful death lawsuit against the nursing home facility. Since the source of her injuries was supposedly unknown, we also filed a claim called a res ipsa loquitur, which literally means the thing speaks for itself. Basically, a res ipsa claim is that the plaintiff in the lawsuit is saying, she didn't know what happened, but you were in charge of her, and it couldn't have happened without the negligence of some kind, so you are responsible. Now, if you want to learn more about res ipsa claims, see my video entitled, What is res ipsa? So after I filed this lawsuit in Southeast Missouri, I took the depositions of several employees of the nursing home. None of them could provide any explanation as to how this bed-bound resident suffered such terrible injuries, although they did concede the obvious, that she couldn't have done this to herself or fallen on her own and gotten herself back into bed. As the family and I talked about this, we arrived at 2 possibilities. One or more of the employees were covering up their involvement in a fall so they wouldn't get in trouble, or 2, an employee actually beat her up. After several depositions, the defendants asked us to engage in settlement negotiations, and my clients agreed to do so. The case then settled for a confidential amount. The family involved here is from a small town in the Boot Heel area and are just super people. They were not only angry about what happened to their mom, but very frustrated by the apparent cover-up into exactly what happened to her. Did somebody drop her? Did somebody beat her up? Unfortunately, we were never able to get the answers to those questions. But here's one thing that we do know, and I told this to my client standing outside the courthouse after the settlement hearing. The folks in charge of that nursing home will never forget them because they fought for their mother. Too many people think there's nothing that they can do when a loved one suffers injury or death at a nursing home. Others think that no good will come out of a lawsuit, so why go through the aggravation? Both of them are wrong. I've been handling cases against the nursing home industry since 2001, and I can tell you that the lawsuits we have been involved in have answered a lot of questions for family members. The people that operated the nursing home in this case knew that this family would tell others in the community about what happened to their mother, and in turn, that would cause the nursing home to take better care of its residents. And in the end, that's a good thing. If you have any questions about the nursing home care in your area, feel free to call us at 314-878-9797 or visit our website at nursinghomejustice.com. We look forward to hearing from you.